Unveiling Meghan's dirty tricks to use royal pain to seek attention in a tasteless way. Hello and a very warm welcome to Kate Middleton and the Queen News New Version channel. Over the course of this year, the world has seen that the Harkles are a pair of lying, attention-seeking, money-hungry whiners. In contrast, the royal family have withstood the muckraking and vilification of the miserable duo, have borne the loss of a much-loved family member, and in spite of all this, they've kept it together and carried out their public duties with the respectful, caring manner we have all come to expect. There really is no contest, then, now, or in the future. But in her typical fashion, Meghan tried her best to get in there on the front page, because as we already know, that's all that matters to her. At Prince Philip's funeral, only Meghan Markle's wreath's details, which was only one of the 9 wreaths placed in the chapel, managed to make it into the headlines, while the rest of the royal family kept the details of their floral tribute private. Forget about the grieving queen and her family. All that really matters, all that we should really pay attention to, is the amazing Meghan and her amazing wreath. Meghan Markle's importance hinges on her being viewed as a royal. She planned to be a part-time royal who dropped into Buckingham Palace to be seen on the balcony or at Ascot so she could turn her back to Queen Elizabeth again and not wear the requisite name tag again, but this didn't materialize due to the will and desire of the Queen. Queen Elizabeth is miles ahead of Harry's disingenuous wife, and so Meghan's dream of living off Prince Charles's cash and the Queen's security detail while carousing in California didn't happen. That means Meghan has to resort to making it look like she's on great terms with the royals, even though we all know she's not. Harry and Meghan told big fat lies on Oprah, and they let it air mere weeks before Harry's grandfather died. Cruel? Yeah, I'd say so. As a result, only Harry was invited to Prince Philip's funeral, while Meghan was permitted to say she was heavily pregnant and couldn't travel, though being exactly 7 months pregnant isn't quite that. But we all knew it was just another flimsy, pathetic excuse. While in the UK and beyond physical reach of his wife and handler, Harry was getting noticed, which will drive any narcissistic wife crazy with anxiety. So what did Meghan do? Oh, she made plenty of calls to Harry, while her PR teams told stories about how Meghan spoke with the Queen the morning of Prince Philip's funeral. Nobody with a sane mind believed such bull, but Meghan likes to think most people swallow such nonsense as long as it comes from her mouth. Newsflash, honey, we don't. That's where the silly story about Meghan's wreath at Harry's grandfather's funeral was all about her. And the other royals, as in any royal other than Meghan and Harry, truth to be told, are placid and calm in public and at events such as this very public funeral. They're taught to be gracious, not to place the focus on anyone else save the Queen or whoever's doing something very important on that particular day. These good royals have a stiff upper lip. Meghan said having that quality was bad for her health. Notice she didn't care about anyone else's health at all. Meghan wants people to believe her absurd, contrived story that she and the Queen are tight, that they talk and gush like girlfriends about love, babies nobody's seen, and of course about how wonderful Meghan is to have around. Meghan even spun a fairy tale about how close she was to Prince Philip. The poor man isn't even around to put a stop to such lies, but here they are. That wreath was all about Meghan being so close to the royals, and she wanted stupid people everywhere to actually think she was invited. So she decided to send a wreath to the man whose family she told hateful lies about to the whole world just 3 weeks earlier. Meghan thinks the world is rather dim, even dimmer than she is. Meghan also isn't quite as brilliant as she thinks she is. It was once again much ado about nothing. The real royals were at the funeral being kind, decorous, and calm. The day was all about Queen Elizabeth and her husband, and the 4 children who were grieving the loss of their treasured papa. We all know that she lies about everything, and how? Oh, because she's been caught so many times. Her behavior has more than shown her true colors. The narrative that Meghan can just pick up the phone at any time and have a good old heart-to-heart with the Queen is probably her most ridiculous and blatant lie. Anyone who believes that is really as stupid as she thinks. The Queen is an Englishwoman who has been head of state in multiple realms for nearly 70 years. Her time is valuable and tightly scheduled. What her errant daughter-in-law and half-witted grandson are doing in a foreign country is of little concern to her. Furthermore, what great interests in common would serve as fodder for these lengthy discussions between Meghan and the Queen? Equestrian matters, the Commonwealth, current events in Britain, maybe upcoming state visits? I would think the amount of knowledge Harry and Meghan possess on any of these topics could be written on the back of a postage stamp. Meanwhile, another source said to us, Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, is probably saddened by the rift between the two brothers, which is very understandable. Harry once loved Catherine like a sister, and William and Harry were as close as brothers could be. I think this was evident at Prince Philip's funeral, as Catherine was the one Harry gravitated to, and the brothers walked together. I will never forget Robin Roberts squealing, "They are speaking!" or something to that effect. I don't think William and Harry will ever recapture the loving relationship they once had. And as William's loving wife and supporter, Catherine is probably very upset. Why, even evil Meghan called her a good person. So, if there actually is a rift, and we don't know for sure that there is, then Catherine is obviously bothered by it. This type of thing is always upsetting for other family members. She'd have to be a monster just to not be affected at all. And the Duchess of Cambridge is definitely not a monster. However, we don't know for sure that there is a rift. Certainly the sewer press wants everyone to think so, as do the trolls and ghouls that actively hate the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. However, what we see from the outside may merely be the result of two brothers growing apart after their marriages and families grow some more. It happens to the best of us. Men and women develop stronger bonds with their spouses, and siblings grow farther apart as other interests and priority take their places. It's unrealistic to believe that after marriage, Harry would continue to put William, Catherine, and their interests before that of his wife. It's not only unrealistic, it's rather sick to believe it would be that way. Montecito, Meggs, and Has-Been are small players anyway, and legends only in their own minds. With Her Majesty's days surely rapidly drawing to a close, I believe her Jubilee year is going to be a chance for every person on this planet to give thanks and praise. Everyone who benefited from or were uplifted by the Queen's benevolent service to her subjects, and indeed humanity itself. She's a rare gem whose lifetime achievements and charms we are surely not destined to see again. Mendacious Meggs can only sit on the sidelines again and wonder what went wrong. Just had a thought. Surely the royals have the copyright to all royal photos. Therefore, how can Has-Been publish them? Add to that all the lies that contain Harry's truth. This comic book he calls a memoir could backfire big time, with global reverberations to the Sussex brand, not to mention their bank accounts. Honestly, they may spend the next few decades wrapped up being sued in courts of law. Ironic, huh? I would think nothing short of World War III could possibly overshadow the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. This is an amazing accomplishment achieved by a truly amazing woman. Nothing that these two snot-nosed brats could do would diminish the significance of this day in history. It's monumental, to say the least. I seriously hope they don't even try anything to put a damper on her very special day. The entire world will be watching as Queen Elizabeth II goes down in history once again. I can't imagine that anyone will have Harry and Meghan at the forefront of their minds. And you? Do you agree with these views in my video? If yes, please like and share my video with anyone who would love it. If not, let us know what you think below in the comments. And don't be afraid to subscribe to the new version of Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel to get more videos in the future. Now, thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.